Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
Dave, do you want to say something?
I'm an atheist.
Okay, why?
The way you guys define God is incoherent.
Okay, how is that what is fundamental to all temporal states is an eternal mind? How is it incoherent?
Because to have a mind is to have a perspective on the world, right? But that mind has to also create the world. So the world has to exist prior to that mind and then also
false.
posterior to that mind. So that's contradictory.
Stop. Okay. You just contradicted yourself, okay?
What's the contradiction?
Now, notice how I'm going to cite it in a second, but notice how rapidly you're talking.
No.
So this is okay. Yeah, you were okay. Now, in order to create the world has to exist before. What are you even talking about?
I'm saying in order for there to be a mind, there has to be a world.
No, wrong.
Because
how so?
Because what a mind is a perspective on the world.
No, a mind is not a perspective. A mind is something that is concrete as opposed to an abstraction, and it possesses an intellect, reason, and cognition.
All of those things are perspectives on the world.
No, sir, there is no. Okay, if God is defined as an eternal mind, okay, when you say the word world, okay, is that abstract?
No, it's concrete. Good.
Then what is the world then if it's concrete?
Well, it doesn't really matter to the argument that I'm...
Dude, you know what? I'm going to kick you out of the room because you're doing what all these unbelievers do is you're being evasive because you don't want to answer the question. The word world that you're using, does it refer to the set of all real concrete things?
I mean, there are different worlds in different contexts, right? There are many different worlds.
Strike two. Okay? Strike two, you're being evasive. Okay? Now, I'd rather not remove you from the stage. I want a straightforward answer. I don't have to agree with it, but it better not be evasive. When you use the word world, is it referring to two or more real concrete things?
No, it doesn't have to.
Okay. No, sir. The issue is not it doesn't have to. How are you using it? When you use the word world, does it represent only one singular concrete thing, or is it a set of two or more concrete particulars?
There are worlds in which there's only one thing, and worlds in which there are more.
Goodbye, Dave. Hit the road. Okay, you see, they are simply recalcitrant. They are incorrigible about giving a straightforward answer. Okay. Now, if he didn't understand the question, he said, "Well, I really don't understand the question." But then we get this hemming and hawing. Well, it could be this, could be that. No, when you say the world, first of all, if God is an eternal mind, okay, that means the mind of God has always existed. Okay, so there wouldn't be a world; there would just be the mind of God. Okay, the world would only come into existence after God created. There wouldn't be a quote world before God created, because all that there would be quote in the world would simply be God. Right? You see how they just make up this crap as they go along? And people wonder why I get irritated and indignant, right? I ask people straightforward, circumspect questions. They don't want to answer it honestly, and then they just rabbit trail me to death. Well, it's not happening. All right, I'll give you one more chance. Don't blow it. Is the word world, is it referring to a set?
No.
Oh, it's not. So it's only referring to one concrete particular thing?
Well, it's not a set.
Sir, do you know what a set is?
Yeah, a set is like mathematically, it's a construct that has many members, or
Yeah,
it may have no members.
if I have 4 marbles, is that a set?
Well, look, you can have a set
Dave,
of
listen,
marbles.
Dave, I've already removed you from the stage once. I don't want to have to do it again.
Well, address my
Now,
argument.
is the word you haven't even made a valid argument because you don't even know what you're talking about. The word
I'll give you the argument.
world. Okay, Dave, listen carefully. Does the word world, does it refer to a concrete particular thing, one thing, or is it a concrete many particulars?
It's a concrete one thing, I guess, for the sake of
Okay.
argument.
No, it wouldn't. Okay, then what is that one thing? What is it?
Well, in the case where there are minds, it's that which constrains the mind's content.
No, sir. If there's only one thing, nothing constrains it. It just simply is what it is.
Right.
Do
Well,
you
if
understand?
nothing can,
You're not understanding. You're making so many metaphysical errors here. If the mind of God, okay, is all that is logically prior to creation, then there is nothing to envelope or encapsulate or constrain God. Do you understand?
yeah, that's impossible.
How? Because God himself would be what is ultimate. Okay. Possibility. Listen carefully. Okay. What is it? I ask this question all the time. If you give me an evasive answer, I'm going to remove you from the stage. Now, I want you, when you said it's impossible, I want you to tell me in an informative manner, not generalizing. I want you to tell me what is it that is foundational, fundamental, and ultimate that dictates everything that is, can be, or cannot be. That question circumscribes possibility. Okay? So I'll repeat the question. What is it that is foundational, fundamental, ultimate that institutes and secures what is, can be, and cannot be for every particular? What is it?
I don't think the question makes sense.
It does make sense. If it doesn't make sense, then you cannot tell me that anything is impossible. You just screwed yourself.
No, your question doesn't make sense. I have an analysis of possibility that makes sense.
You're not understanding what dictates fundamentally what's possible.
Yeah, that question doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that question
Good.
doesn't
If it doesn't make sense, guess what? You just stepped on another landmine. If it doesn't make sense, then you cannot invoke what's possible or impossible. If there is nothing fundamentally dictating what is possible or impossible, then you can't tell me what's possible or impossible.
I can tell you what it means for something to be possible or impossible.
Dave,
I can tell you what it means.
It's impossible to talk with you because you're an ignoramus. Goodbye, Dave. Okay.
He was funny.
Yeah, he's a bullshit artist. Okay. If he says something's impossible, what is it that fundamentally dictates what's possible and impossible? What is it? And he goes, well, that doesn't make any sense. If it doesn't make any sense to say what dictates or what instantiates what's possible and impossible, then how can he say that something is impossible? Because there would be nothing dictating impossibility, would there? Do you see how he completely screwed himself? He knew that I had him cornered, but he was going to lie his way out of it. His position was self-stultifying. It was self-refuting, but he wouldn't admit it. If nothing institutes and secures what is, can be, and cannot be for any particular, then if he says whatever is possible or impossible is purely an arbitrary declaration on his part, because as he just said, there's nothing that dictates what's possible and impossible. So how can he say anything's impossible? You see the ignoramuses that I have to deal with? And I wouldn't be so indignant and harsh if they weren't so stiff-necked, right? And incorrigible in their stupidity. They're not truly this stupid in their personal lives, but they play one like people play a doctor on TV when they get onto Clubhouse. Did I not clearly explain to him how he refuted himself?
Yes, Darth.
Yeah.
You did.
No, Dave, I gave you 2 chances. You're not coming up again. You can put your hand down.
And then
Okay.
he said, "You don't make any sense."
Hold on a second. Dave, you can put your hand down now, because if you don't, I'll remove you from the room. So put your hand down, Dave. Good.
I blocked him.
You see, this is the problem with people. They're not careful thinkers, and when they get outsmarted, right, and their reasoning is shown to be incoherent, then they just lie about the incoherency of their own position.
What if I told you right now, it's possible that there is a winged plaid unicorn in my backyard? It's possible right now. There could be a winged unicorn. You're going to laugh at that, aren't you?
But the inverse of possible is impossible. So that just would mean that God is impossible.
No, you're not understanding. Okay. When we speak of God, if you talk about God possibly existence, you have now removed God from his category that he cannot not exist to an area of contingency. The creation, okay, which is the set of all temporal things, are within the realm of possible or impossible and contingency. Okay, God is not within the realm of contingency.
Well, necessary facts are still possible.
What was that?
Necessary facts are still possible.
Okay, why do you sound familiar to me?
Because you know me.
Okay, yeah, go to hell. Repent. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear this argument.
And he is going to hell. By the way, don't feel sorry for him. That's a scumbag who has been stalking me for 8 or 9 years. Okay.
Did you get that, Tom Rabbit?